So a very good evening and welcome to Home Park for this attractive friendly fixture between Argyle and Chelsea. My name's Richard Hoskin. A large crowd has come here today to see a number of superstars. This summer, new Chelsea manager Ruud Gullit has brought in Gianluca Vialli on a free transfer, but will command a basic wage of around £25,000. French defender Leboeuf has also joined for £2.5 million. And most interestingly, Roberto Di Matteo, who unlike most foreign players coming to England, is at the peak of his career. Sadly, none of these players are playing tonight, just like they failed to play on Monday night in front of a sellout crowd at Exeter. But it was still a major shock that the Blues were beaten 2-1. Chelsea, with players such as Dennis Wise in the side, took the lead through Mark Hughes. Yet such was the pressure that the Grecians inflicted on Gullit's side in the second half that it was apparent that Exeter deserved to win, thanks to second half goals from Matty Hare and a wonder strike from Barry McConnell. Argyle's pre-season, on the other hand, has started a little better. Despite problems off the field, Neil Warnock's side beat Dawlish 2-1 on Saturday thanks to goals from Carlo Corazon and trialist Danny Craven. And then on Monday, an inexperienced side beat Millbrook 7-1, Neil Illman scoring twice. One would hope a number of people are here not just to see Chelsea, but to see Argyle as well. Memories of that wonderful day at Wembley are still clear in the mind. There may not be any new signings on show in the Argyle side tonight, but there is Argyle's new strip on show, which was unveiled on Monday. Let's look at the teams then. And Argyle make 5 changes from the side that won at Wembley in the playoff final. It's a big night for Neil Illman, who gets his first real chance in front of the Argyle faithful. Argyle line up as follows then. Number 1 is Kevin Blackwell. Number 2, Mark Patterson. Number 3, Paul Williams. Number 4 is the Wembley hero Ronnie Morget. Number 5 is club captain Mickey Heathcote. Number 6, Chris Curran. Number 7, Chris Billy. Number 8, Richard Logan. Number 9, Ian Baird. Number 10, Carlo Corazon, the Canadian international. And number 11, as I've already mentioned, a big night for Neil Illman. As for Chelsea, Argyle fans will be disappointed that none of the foreign stars are turning out, yet the side still contains 4 internationals. Lining up for Chelsea, number 1, Kevin Hitchcock. Number 2, Frank Sinclair. Number 3, Andy Myers. Number 4, Erland Johnson. Number 5, David Lee. Number 6, Steve Clark. Number 7, Scott Minto. Number 8, Mark Steen. Number 9, Welsh international Mark Hughes. Number 10, Gavin Peacock. And England international Dennis Wise is at number 11. The substitutes tonight, Plymouth Argyle subs are Paul Watton, Andrew Avery, Dominic Richardson, Craig Dan and Danny O'Hagan, and Chelsea subs are Nichols, Shepherd, McCann and Anthony Barnes. The referee tonight is an experienced man, it's Paul Durkin, and his linesmen are Bob Chilcott and Neil Jones. So the anticipation throughout the summer is finally over. We're about to kick off this big pre-season friendly, Plymouth Argyle versus Chelsea, and Mark Steen and Mark Hughes are going to get proceedings underway. And early on, Carlo Corazon for Argyle attacking. Tries to play a through ball to Neil Illman, but the linesman signals for offside. The game kicks off on time, unlike last season when there was a 15-minute delay. Many people here tonight will remember Chelsea's visit to Argyle a year ago when Ruud Gullit inspired the London side to a 2-0 victory. Craig Burley and Mark Steen grabbing the goals in front of over 13,000 fans. Number 4 is Erland Johnson. And as expected, a big crowd here. All the seats were sold out. And Gavin Peacock in midfield. The ball came off Chris Billy. The referee disagreed, much to the delight of the Argyle fans, and the throw-in's taken quickly. Neil Illman impressed up Neil Warnock over the summer with his enthusiasm in training. And Illman battling hard, but his ball only goes to Erland Johnson, who clears. But the ball comes off Illman, and a header there from Andy Myers safely to the goalkeeper Kevin Hitchcock. But Mark Patterson was forward, ready to pounce on any mistake. Kevin Hitchcock having to wear his cap in the first half because of the sun shining so brightly. Surprisingly windy tonight. Steve Clark, the Scottish international, pushes the ball forward to Mark Steen, eager to impress, who was disappointing last season. And we're eager to show Rudhullet what he's still got the capabilities of getting the goals that matter. Dennis Wise in midfield. Disappointed from that challenge by Mark, Ian Baird, and gets the free kick he wanted. Here's Dennis Wise again. He'll be prominent tonight. Plays the ball to Erland Johnson. David Lee. Chelsea side, as expected, very patient, will play the ball to each other until an opening is created. Steve Clark had Myers for support, but looked to Mark Hughes instead, who holds the ball up well. Myers now tried to get the ball, but the ball goes harmlessly wide for a throw-in. Argyle's new strip looks very impressive, familiar to the strip they wore a few seasons ago when they narrowly missed out on promotion. Steve Clark has a few early touches, as have David Lee and Erland Johnson, who's on the ball now. Gavin Peacock playing back for now, but we all know he likes to push forward and can get some vital goals. Got a hat-trick last season against Middlesbrough and a 5-0 win. Andy Myers. Still Andy Myers, a good run. Was impressive against Exeter. But well played, Chris Billy dispossesses Peacock. He's not afraid to run at defenders. He goes out wide. His ball comes in for Corazon, whose first touch lets him down. And again, Argyle battling for the ball, but Ronnie Morget is adjudged to have fouled the defender. I think it's important tonight that Argyle do hustle Chelsea, because early on it's apparent that Chelsea are going to get a lot of the ball tonight. The long ball forward. Looked a bit like handball from Ronnie Morget, but shirt pulling there. The referee finally acknowledges it, and Ronnie Morget wins a free kick. Mick Heathcote, the club captain, voted player of the year last season, takes the free kick. Well controlled from Corazon. And then a tackle there from Steve Clark, claimed to win the ball, but he never did, and that's easily a free kick for Plymouth. Ian Baird wearing the number 9 shirt tonight in place of Adrian Littlejohn. Curran's free kick. There's a scramble, finally away by David Lee. And Frank Sinclair can finally get the ball away, but that's the first sign of any chance for Plymouth. A half chance. Mark Hughes holding the ball, but much to the delight of the Pilgrims fans, it's a throw-in. And our first chance for Richard Logan to show one of his main qualities, his throw-in technique. Can get a lot of distance on them. And again he finds someone in the form of Corazon. Neil Ullman shoots and it hits the crossbar. Neil Ullman with a spectacular effort. And that's the first real chance of the game. It was Logan's throw-in, found Corazon, flicked it to Ullman, who wasn't afraid to shoot, and that was nearly a spectacular goal. It's a corner kick now. Swung in. And Morget gets on the end of it, but it goes wide, but that's better from Plymouth. Chelsea had dictated play early on, and Plymouth had to show them what they were made of, and that's 2 chances in the space of a minute. And it's good to see Neil Ullman in the thick of action. We all know he's got the enthusiasm. He now has to prove that he's got the quality needed. The trainers required, I think. I think that's Scott Minto wearing the number 7 shirt. Scott Pinto, another player eager to impress. Didn't get many opportunities last season. He was signed from Charlton Athletic a few years ago for £750,000. Looks like an injury to the face. And the trainer has to come on in those situations. He's having to come off to get further treatment by the trainer. But Exeter City proved on Monday night that Chelsea can be carved open. Exeter were by far the better side in the second half, and that would give Plymouth encouragement. Look at the enthusiasm on Illman's face. Running around, and dodgy kick back there by Hitchcock, but Baird was unable to capitalise on his error. Mark Hughes, good ball out wide to Erling Johnson. The long ball forward, looks dangerous, but Kevin Blackwell will be on the end of that. Blackwell getting an unexpected another chance in the Argyle side. Argyle failed to replace Steve Cherry in the summer, but it won't be too worrying that Blackwell's in the side. He was very convincing in the times he did play last season. Had some good games. Steve Clark, David Lee, Dennis Wise wanted a piece of the action. Frank Sinclair didn't, and his disgust is obvious. Goes wide for a throw-in.
Come on.
Curran will take the throw-in. Morget. This flick on goes nowhere in particular. Mark Hughes. Disappointing ball. Mark Hughes renowned for being able to hold the ball up and get other people involved in the action. We're disappointed with that. Patterson's throw-in finds Corazon, trying the 1-2. Ball Patterson battling hard, wins a throw-in ahead of Andy Byers. And no surprise that Richard Logan's going to step up and take this throw-in. Many times his throw-ins are just like a corner because he manages to get the ball deep into the penalty area. Again, a long one. Morget gets his head to it. Billy almost got to it. He gets another chance and blazes it over. Well, I'm not sure if that was a save by Hitchcock because the referee's given a corner. Whoever got a touch to it, it was a marvellous opportunity for Billy. Miskicked it the first time, got a second chance, and it went over. And if Billy was honest with himself, that should have been a goal. But it's good to see yet another opportunity being created. The corner swung in. And Johnson ahead of Logan. And Neil Illman showing his quality as a corner taker as well. All over the pitch. Chris Billy will take this corner. Chris Billy, a player with talent, just needs to show a bit more confidence at times. Signed from Huddersfield Town, he'll take this corner. It swung in, it's a good corner, the flick on, but nobody on the end of it. Morget was the nearest, and he'll have another opportunity to try and cross it in. Ian Baird battling as a throw-in. Much to Sinclair's disgust, wasn't pleased with that. Illman, good touch. Another corner. Third corner in a minute for Plymouth. They're piling the pressure onto Chelsea. And again, Illman's going to take it. Heathcote and Logan both pushed forward. Illman no doubt looking for their height. In the end, again, it's Morget who's got yet another header onto that corner. And Morget's head will be forever famous at Argyle, of course, after his goal at Wembley against Darlington. But he's always had a good head on him all season. Here's Johnson. Steve Clark pushes forward. Dennis Wise, so much time on the ball. That's a wonderful ball for Peacock, but Chris Billy equal to the task and does a good recovery job. And the Argyle fans right to show their applause. The back pass to Hitchcock. And Hitchcock doesn't look too happy with his back passes at the moment. Looks not very confident at all.
So when this goes on the TV, that'll be your voice on it.
A wonderful ball there for Myers, but it's offside. But a good run by Myers. He makes these forward runs and very effective, especially when he gets good crosses in. That's Andy Myers there, the England and under-21 international.
We have our voices in the background there.
Damn you!
Corazon. Will he keep that ball in play? No, he won't. It goes off for a throw-in. It's a chance for a lot of players to prove themselves tonight, and Corazon's no exception. Failed to win a place in the starting lineup last season, was a substitute for many games. He was signed from Cambridge on deadline day last season. But he's a Canadian international and obviously has the talent to go far, and this is a big season for him. Erland Johnson's had a lot of the ball in defence. David Lee failed to recognise the run from Dennis Wise. Erland Johnson with a ball forward this time, and this time Wise will get the ball, and he's got some space. He's got Baird for company, but manages to get the cross in, and Blackwell managed to get a hand to it. The danger's not over yet. It's Gavin Peacock. He'll cross it in. It took a deflection, and Mark Hughes going for the spectacular. Paul Williams got there first. And finally, Billy cannot get it away. Gavin Peacock, some good skill. A wonderful ball there for Mark Steen. But the ball was disappointing, and the danger's finally over for Argyle. The main danger was there when Myers challenged Blackwell for the ball, but Blackwell, despite his lack of height, managed to get a fist to it and away from the danger area. Can Hitchcock keep that in? No, he can't. It's another corner. Came off the head of Steve Clark. Illman will again take it. The big players will again come forward. Chris Billy deciding to take a corner from the right-hand side this time. Illman will instead go into the penalty area. Plays it short. Mark Patterson. Well, that was almost a replica of the Wembley goal, wasn't it? Played out short to Mark Patterson. Crossed it in, but unlike Wembley, there was no Ronnie Morchet on the end of it. And now Chelsea can break. Andy Miles will get another run forward. Dennis Wise in acres of space. Finally gets the ball. Bit more cover now. Dennis Wise. And Mark Hughes never going to get that ball. Can Argyle themselves break now? No, they can't. Corazon doesn't get the ball. Steve Clark does. Gavin Peacock. It may only be a friendly, but there's been some determined challenges early on. Corazon. The ball forward. It's Clark versus Morget, and Clark gets it back to Hitchcock.
Not only that, it's got that extra around it as well.
Gavin Peacock. Mark Steen, good ball to Erland Johnson. Johnson, a long ball forward offside. And Mark Hughes a bit more disappointed with that decision this time. Shakes his head. You sometimes feel that Chelsea need to pump the ball forward a bit quicker rather than galloping around in defence, because you're never going to create anything in your own half. Illman gets the ball, and yet again another corner. Can Argyle create something this time? Mark Patterson wants it to be taken quickly. Illman crosses it in. Nobody on the end of it. Chris Billy to Chris Curran. And the linesman flagging for offside, much to the disgust of Corazon, who has a word with referee for good measure. David Lee takes the free kick. David Lee again, the England under-21 international, one of many in the Chelsea side. Johnson. Dennis Wise, a firm challenge, and he'll get a free kick. The challenge there by Billy, quickly taken, Mark Steen. And it comes off the chest of Mick Heathcote. Very reliable, gets it away. We talked about how it's an important night for Illman and for Corazon. It's also a big night in the Chelsea side for Mark Steen. He's not got many opportunities and he's got to grab them when he can. It was disappointing in Exeter and we'll want to reverse the balance tonight. Minto. A rare run forward for him. Challenging him is Morget. And he does some good work, and it's a throw-in. Peacock turned bared rather easily. Cohen a good header away. And now a Chelsea corner. There's been lots of corners early on in this game. And Dennis Wise getting the expected reception he'd obviously expected before the game. He'll take this corner. And people like Johnson has pushed forward. In the end it's Heathcote away, Billy finishes off the job. Peacock tries the volley, but in the end it's a good pass to Dennis Wise. Dennis Wise beats Corazon, it's a cross in. Doesn't find Sinclair, and now it's Billy. Good ball, Neil Illman. An intelligent ball, test of the pace now of Paul Williams. And what a good tackle there by David Lee. We all know about Paul Williams' runs forward. And then also in the Colchester game, that playoff semi-final, when he ran forward and scored a superb header to put Argyle at Wembley. And it's a trademark of Argyle, the two fullbacks, superb attacking players. Logan's long throw-in. Corazon claims to be fouled. Play on, says the referee. Looked a bit harsh there. Gavin Peacock. An intelligent ball forward. Dennis Wise now. Always dangerous when he gets the ball. It's causing Billy problems. In the end, plays it to Sinclair. David Lee pushing forward. Oh, a wonderful flip by Minto. The cross in, though, is disappointing and harmlessly wide of Kevin Blackwell's goal. The skill's obviously there tonight. We're just awaiting the finishing touch from Chelsea. And the Premiership standard that we all expect of them. Just under 25 minutes gone. And here's Mark Patterson. Got the ball first. Neil Illman against David Lee. The Sun obviously played a part. Lee didn't get it. Oh, it's an intelligent ball by Illman. Gets applause. But Corazon couldn't get on the end of it. The Sun obviously causing problems for Chelsea in this first half. Hitchcock having to wear his cap, and you see the Chelsea supporters behind the goal all having their hands over their eyes, trying to protect themselves from the sun. Here's Dennis Wise. appears to be all over the pitch. And Ian Baird will never give up that challenge. Clark, a ball forward. Little Mark Steen gets his head to it, but it only goes to Mick Heathcote. Under pressure for Hughes, and offside again. The referee rightly gives advantage because the ball was going to Hitchcock anyhow. Gavin Peacock. Erland Johnson pushes forward. A chance to get a cross in. No, in the end, it plays a good ball to Peacock, but there's just too much pace on it. And another attack fizzles out harmlessly. That was Gavin Peacock making the run. Signed from Newcastle for £1.25 million. Kevin Blackwell, on the other hand, was a free transfer signing from Huddersfield. Heavily involved in the youth setup at Argyle. Has an important job at Plymouth nowadays. David Lee gets ahead of it. Mark Hughes. And Wise, very frustrated, his ball trying to find the number 10, Gavin Peacock. But it's another throw-in for Plymouth. Can Plymouth create any more opportunities? Their best opportunity so far coming from Neil Illman when it hit the woodwork. Here's Ian Baird. Sorry, that was Mick Heathcote. And Frank Sinclair, well, obstruction there by the defender there. And the referee writes to give the free kick. That was Richard Logan making the obstruction. It's noticeable in friendlies that bookings won't be made, whilst in the league game the yellow card will surely have been out then. The referee is using their common sense in friendly fixtures, which is good to see. Dennis Wise now. Gavin Peacock, good turn. He gets a good cross in. Sinclair was coming in, but Mulger got ahead to it. And the referee, he said play on. And it's going to be volleyed in, and it's a goal. Chelsea score the first goal of the game. Gavin Peacock volleys it in. Kevin Blackwell failed to get to the cross. It ended up at the feet of Gavin Peacock, and he volleys it superbly into the back of the net. Argyle will be disappointed that the referee didn't give a free kick for that foul on Mulger, allegedly. But one man who won't be complaining is the number 10, Gavin Peacock, who gives Chelsea the lead. After about 25-26 minutes of the game. And Hitchcock having to use his head. Can Argyle reply in kind? Billy, good skill, but it comes off Peacock, the goal scorer. He's always going to get goals, Gavin Peacock. Will be remembered, of course, mostly for his goals in the FA Cup run a few years ago, including those 2 goals in the FA Cup semi-final against Luton that put them in the final against Manchester United. Richard Logan's long throw-in. It's flicked on by a Chelsea player, and then the acrobatics there by Mark Patterson. It goes way over. Mark Hughes would have been proud of that. It's important that Argyle don't let that goal get them down. Exeter fell a goal behind in the first half on Monday night, but battled back superbly to beat Chelsea, and it could have been more than the 2-1 that finally occurred that night. Mick Heathcote gets the ball. A lob forward, and the linesman gives an offside decision. That looks a bit suspicious. Quickly taking free kick by Chelsea. David Lee. Gavin Peacock. Wise. A good ball out wide for Erland Johnson, who's in space now. Corazon trying to make up the numbers. And Johnson tried to cross it in, but it went to no one in particular. Mark Patterson will have a chance to clear it now. It's a throw-in. Corazon against Lee. Lee wins the challenge well. Morget tries to head it back into the danger area. And Steve Clark misplaces his header and does well to get out of danger. Made up for his error. Mark Patterson will take the throw in. Wanted to take it quickly, but he had no one in support. Billy plays it back to Patterson. There's a left-footed cross and well charged down by Gavin Peacock. Mark Hughes, a good first touch. But the Chelsea player wasn't there, it was in fact Mark Patterson. Ronnie Morget. Bit of a tussle going on there with Steve Clark. Steve Clark won the challenge. Dennis Wise. Oh, good through ball. Mark Hughes. And Argyle do well to clear it. It's still in the danger area though, out wide. Frank Sinclair. He's going to have a chance to cross it in. He's got Williams for company. Minto, but the 1-2 didn't work off. Sinclair didn't make the run that Minto would have wanted. Corazon gets on the end of it. Can he carry on the good work? No, Steve Clark's looked good tonight. And Mark Hughes making a run forward. He's the only man forward for Gavin Peacock. Mark Steen coming back to a midfield job. Mark Hughes gets on the ball. Has to challenge off defenders as he always has done, but does well to get the ball to Erlen Johnson. David Lee. David Lee looking for options. He finds his option on the left-hand side, Andy Myers. But Mark Patterson got his head on the end of it first, but has to concede a corner for his troubles. Dennis Wise will take the corner. Peacock makes a run to help Wise out. It's a short corner. Wise, Peacock. It's a good dangerous cross in. Patterson gets it away. Peacock, that's a good header. Dennis Wise. Dennis Wise showing some good skill. The cross in. Mark Hughes can't get on the end of it. Billy does, but not very convincingly. David Lee now. Wise again. Ah, that's a great ball out wide to Frank Sinclair. Sinclair past Williams, it took a deflection, and that's going to be a corner. Paul Williams is doing his job well. It's another corner though. Dennis Wise waving to the crowd. The best way to answer his critics is to do something on the pitch, which he more than often does. This corner's swung in again dangerously. Chris Curran was adjudged to have been fouled by Mark Hughes, and it's a free kick to Plymouth, and the danger's over for now at least. I suppose it's fair to say Mark Hughes is the star attraction tonight, the former Manchester United striker. Last season got some vital goals, but he also got into trouble with the referee more often than he would have wanted. He got booked 10 times last season and sent off once. And continuing the disciplinary theme, Chelsea have now conceded a free kick in a dangerous position. And Ian Baird, he scored some great free kicks last season. His goal against Fulham stands out, as does his goal against Coventry that almost caused an upset in the FA Cup. And there's only going to be one man to say this, Ian Baird, who's surely going to blast it. The only question is it going to hit the roof of the net or not? Illman also wants a piece of the action, but it's either going to be Illman or Baird. I fancy Blair to just blast it, which he does, and it's deflected, is it? No, it's a goal kick, but Ian Baird again dangerous with his free kicks. When he was injured last season, we missed those free kicks. He scored some good goals last season, always dangerous, he never wastes them, and he almost beat Hitchcock there. A good effort there from the experienced Ian Baird, signed from Bristol City last season. involved in the swap deal that saw Kevin Nugent go the opposite way. Well, it's a free kick to Plymouth. Chris Billy not very happy, but walks away from it, as every good pro should. Chris Curran will take the free kick. And Heathcote, Logan are up there again. Their height can be very dangerous at times. Curran sizing up the situation. And it came off the head there of Illman, was it? That could have gone anywhere, and in the end it went wide, but on another day perhaps that could have gone into the back of the net. That was Neil Illman there. The play continues. It's Paul Williams battling well. Chris Billy. That's a good ball, Paul Williams, but unfortunately it goes just wide of the touchline for a throw-in. But that's good play by Plymouth. They're starting to come into this game. Sinclair will take the throw-in. Chris Curran battles well. Well played. Corazon now showing some skill and determination. In the end it comes back to Chris Curran. He puts the ball into the danger area. Myers gets there ahead of Patterson. And that's going to go wide. Throw-in. Logan will take one of his speciality throw-ins. Clark heads it away. It's another throw-in. Surely Logan will take that. Yes, he will. He's pushing forward. Mark Patterson, get out of the way. Logan will take this throw-in then. Drills it into the danger area. Morget. And then that could have easily looked over Hitchcock. And Morget's looked good on these crosses. Always causing problems for that Chelsea defence. That augurs well for the future. Mark Steen. The ball forward finds Mark Patterson. Has to play it back to Kevin Blackwell. Here's Neil Illman. Just happy to get his head on the end of it. And then determined challenge, almost beat Johnson. Johnson to Steen. But dispossessed. And Ian Baird failed to get to it, but does well to play it to Patterson. And Patterson's ball goes nowhere in particular. Disappointing that. The theme of this first half has been Chelsea playing the ball from defence. They're doing it again now. Steve Clark now pushes forward. There's not a lot Argyle can do about it at the moment. Minto. Dennis Wise. David Lee having to protect himself from the sun. That's a foul there by Ian Baird. Dennis Wise, a spectacular fall. Wins himself a free kick, but good to see them shake hands. And typical Dennis Wise wants the ball so he can get on with action. Mark Patterson. Carlo Corazon. Patterson does well, finds Illman. Oh, great first touch, Chris Billy. Well, the fans wanted him to shoot, and now he's being overcrowded by up to 3 Chelsea players there. But there was an opportunity just for a split second for Billy to shoot. On another day he may have done so. Corazon. Oh, that's a good ball, Illman. And he wins a throw-in, wins a corner, which is the best he could have done because there was no one in the penalty area to support him. And Illman will be pleased to win that corner. It may only be a friendly, but there's been a good atmosphere here tonight. The Argyle fans getting behind their side. Imagine what a goal would do, though. The corner swung in. It's another corner. Must have come off David Lee. Both Logan and Heathcote were in the thick of the action. Heathcote speaks to the referee. Not sure if there was a suspicion of handball there. Billy swings it in. That's a dangerous one, and it was cleared off the line by Dennis Wise. Morget got on the end of it. His header was going in, and Dennis Wise was on the goal line. Just showing what a valuable player he is. I think Morget was claiming it went over the line, but Dennis Wise was on the line and did a great job. Doing a captain's job, it could be said. But that was a good opportunity for Plymouth. They've looked dangerous on corners. It's Mark Hughes against Logan. Mark Hughes fouled there. Still held up the ball very well. This is Mark Hughes now in the penalty area. First time ball. Dennis Wise. Got Paul Williams for company. Still Dennis Wise showing some skill. Can he get the ball crossed into the penalty area where it matters most? In the end, an intelligent ball to Sinclair. That's a good run. But Morget with a good tackle. Always a determined player, Ronnie Morget. Sinclair overruns it, and that goes over for a goal kick. About 5 minutes to go now until half time, and Neil Warnock won't be too despondent at this stage. His side certainly still got a chance in this game. Although compared to Monday night and the Exeter game, the Chelsea defence at least looking a lot more solid. Well, Wise didn't get it to it, Corazon did. It's a free kick. Chris Curran now sizing up what's available to him. Logan's up there, Heathcote's up there, being marshalled there by David Lee. In the end it goes to Logan. He crosses it into the danger area. Corazon lays it off. Morget now. They need to face the old goal really. Paul Williams. That's a good cross in. Logan guilty of pushing, shirt pulling against Andy Myers, and it's a free kick. But that was half a chance for Plymouth. When Logan headed it into the danger area, could easily have fallen to Corazon on the other side, and all he would have to have done then was to blast it into the net. Mark Steen against Mick Heathcote. Mark Steen does well in fairness, considering their difference in height there. David Lee, good ball. Mark Hughes against Richard Logan. Logan wins the challenge, but in the end, and now there's a little disturbance there. Some pushing and shoving. I think Richard Logan wasn't too pleased there with Mark Hughes. But he didn't miss much. It was all handbags at 50 paces, and the danger still soon over. Referee quickly dispelled the danger. Mark Steen. And David Lee so close to losing possession, and if Illman had got the ball, then that would have been very dangerous. Very frustrated there for Neil Illman. He's had a good first half. Has always looked threatening at the very least, and always causing the Chelsea defence problems. Erlen Johnson, Frank Sinclair. Erlen Johnson gets the ball again. Here's Gavin Peacock, the goal scorer. Alan Johnson takes over. Logan away. And it's a free kick. And it's Mark Hughes against Richard Logan. They'd been at each other's throats about a minute ago. And I'm not sure if that was some sort of retaliation, but Mark Hughes is going to have a word with the referee here. In fairness, Mark Hughes is often at the brunt of the referee's disappointment. But Mark Hughes, as committed as he is, often needs to calm down a little, and the referee will give him a word as is needed. Richard Logan there as well, having a word with the referee. And this is only a friendly pitch, so lads, don't need any of that. I assume now that's all forgotten and in the past. Kevin Blackwell. Corazon jumps well. Neil Illman. Good touch there for Paul Williams. Oh, Paul Williams, was he pushed? No, the referee puts his hands behind his back. The referee starting to frustrate the Plymouth fans a little. Corazon wins the ball. Baird takes over. Ian Baird with Peacock for company. Loses possession to Andy Myers. Dennis Wise now. And suddenly Chelsea break. Scott Minto. Dennis Wise, Mark Hughes. Oh, that's a good ball. Finds Minto in space, but recovering well again in defence. Richard Logan, who improved as the season progressed last season, made himself an important member of the side as the season ended. Corazon battling well. And now Illman. Can he preserve anything? No. Steve Clark in there again. He's been impressive today, Steve Clark. Mark Steen took over from Mark Hughes. The referee says play on. There was a few players falling over there, but nothing untoward. Carlo Corazon showing some strength. Myers has to win possession at the expense of a corner though now as we approach the end of this first half. We are now indeed in injury time. Can Argyle give Argyle fans something to cheer about at half time? Illman's going to take the corner. Swung in again, it's away by Myers. Illman gets the ball again. No, he leaves it for a corner. And Argyle get another opportunity to produce some danger. Baird makes a run. There's Morget, Heathcote, Logan in there. There is Logan against Johnson. It's another corner. Johnson got his head to it last. And Johnson is not happy about that. But it looked from here to be a corner at the very least. And Argyle fans producing some noises. The half comes to an end. Billy's going to take this one. And again, the same old players are up there. It's going to come to Morget, is it? No, it beat everyone. Morget, though, on the edge of the penalty area there is Mark Patterson. Patterson to Baird. Morget. Need to get the ball in there, really. Baird takes the advice, but disappointing ball, and it goes wide and never ever going to cause problems for Kevin Hitchcock in the Chelsea goal. Kevin Hitchcock, some people still regard him as the reserve goalkeeper behind Dimitri Karim, but he has been here since 1988 when he signed from Mansfield Town for £250,000, so he's part of the furniture at Stamford Bridge. The referee then blows for half-time. Argyle may be down, but they're certainly not out. They can go into the second half well aware that they're still in this game, only one goal behind to Gavin Peacock's goal. Half-time score here at Home Park, Plymouth Argyle 0, Chelsea 1. So the second half about to kick off now, and Chelsea have made a substitution at half-time. Number 8, Mark Steen, is about to come off, or he has come off at half-time, and in his place is number 12, Nichols. So Nichols has come on in the second half for Mark Steen, who will be disappointed with his performance in the first half. Didn't really cause Blackwell many problems. So Ilman and Corizon will kick off the second half. Argyle now attacking their own fans in the Devonport end. It was in the second half where Exeter came so good against Chelsea. Can Argyle do the same? It looks like Nichols is taking a place up front. Steve Clark. David Lee in defence, had a good first half. And Erland Johnson now pushing forward, as he didn't so often in the first half, but dispossessed this time. And Paul Williams now on the left-hand side pushes forward. He signals for Ilman to make the run, which he does so. But David Lee's big and strong and gets past him easily. And the ball forward now to young Nichols. The substitute has just come on. 2 successive years he was the top goal scorer, Mark Nichols. And he signed professional terms initially in 1995. So it's a big chance for him now to impress with his first teammates. Often he'll be playing in front of just a handful of people, and now he's playing in front of over 10,000 people tonight. Big night for him. Chris Curran will take this free kick, and Logan pushing forward late. Drilled in there. Morget gets his head to it, and it's into a space where there's no Argyle players, unfortunately. And now Myers can push forward. Myers, a good run there, finds Dennis Wise. And it's a throw-in. Ian Baird showing his maturity there by coming back to help defend. Myers pushing forward a lot earlier this second half. But Mark Patterson showing what a good defender he is. Comfortably there. Earns aside a goal kick. Mark Patterson may only have joined the club in the summer of 1992, but he's one of the longest serving players here at the club, aside from Derby County, and he's proved to be one of the best players last season in the promotion winning side. Morget battling well and wins the ball, great determination. But Andy Myers isn't short of determination himself and wins the ball firmly but fairly.
Shouldn't be sitting on there either. That's fire escape. Come on. I don't care. You should be here. This is fire escape. Come on.
Chris Curran now, out wide.
If you're down in there, go down.
Crosses it in, and it evades everyone apart from Gavin Peacock, who has to give the ball away for a corner. An early chance now for Plymouth to fight back in the second half. A corner which Billy will take. Well, was Hitchcock impeded? He certainly thought so. The referee said no. But he certainly went up and didn't get his hand onto the ball. Well, what was Dennis Wise doing there? Just gave the ball away. Obviously a misunderstanding, and now Argyle can they punish Chelsea for that mistake? It's Paul Williams. Chris Billy now. Well, Dennis Wise, it's a foul. Chris Billy held the ball up well enough, and he'll be pleased to earn himself a free kick, considering he wasn't really going anywhere special. Curran will take this free kick. Several runs being made inside that penalty area. Curran takes it. Logan cannot get to it. Johnson does, but it will fall to Illman. He draws it in, and Curran. That was Carlo Corazon in the danger area, but he's gone offside. But it's a good opportunity again for Plymouth. On another day, that could have resulted in a goal. Here's Andy Myers, who's looked impressive in the second half so far, making some early runs. Mark Hughes looking at the ball, but there was Logan, who's had an impressive game against his Premiership players. The offside flag doesn't come up. Paul Williams almost punished Chelsea, and Hitchcock has to play it to Sinclair. Oh, well played, Sinclair. A rather rash challenge from Corazon, but Sinclair, with his experience, knew what he was doing. It's Mark Nichols. Good ball there by the youngster. Dennis Wise now. Number 7, Scott Minto. Nichols. Wisely plays it there to the number 2 there, Frank Sinclair. Dennis Wise. Chelsea still have the ball. Steve Clark now. And it threads its way through there to the goalkeeper there, Kevin Blackwell. What went wrong there, Kevin? Sliced it. He seems to spend a lot of time thinking about it, perhaps too long. Mick Heathcote there. Got Mark Hughes for company. 2 very honest players. This is good play by Plymouth. And now Blackwell will have a chance to amend his error just a few moments ago. And the last bit of noise there from the Chelsea fans. They've been quiet in the first half. Ronnie Morget battling well. Mark Patterson now pushing forward. And he loses his footing at the vital moment, just when it looked like he might produce something. But typical Mark Patterson, pushing forward. He creates so much with his runs forward. Good ball there. Here's Gavin Peacock. But well played, Paul Williams. But the danger's not over yet. Gavin Peacock. Surely he's going to play it to Dennis Wise. No, he'll cross it in instead. The volley by Scott Minto. Spectacular, but it doesn't go in. Well played, Gavin Peacock. Many people there have played it to Dennis Wise, but he saw Minto in a bit of space. And the man you see on your screen now, Kevin Blackwell, looked a bit worried for a moment there. Peacock. In the end, he was outnumbered. Mark Hughes now. In the end, Paul Williams got there just in front, but it's only a throw-in. Frank Sinclair can't get on the end of that, and now Plymouth will get the throw-in. A lot of play in the middle of the park, especially in Plymouth's point of view, and they'll need to push forward more in the second half if they're to win this game or even get a draw. Corazon, that's a good ball forward. It's an awkward sort of ball. Morget does well. Morget falls in the area, play on. For a moment that was dangerous, especially because the ball was bouncing and no one was in control of the ball. But now Mark Patterson is. Does well, past Minto. Here's Mark Patterson. That's better from Plymouth. A firm challenge there from the number 11, Neil Illman, on his counterpart there, Dennis Wise. Kevin Blackwell forward. Corazon against Johnson. No one really wins it. Morget. An intelligent header there to Mickey Heathcote. Ian Baird. Playing him in more midfield role tonight. He seems to be enjoying himself. And came close with that free kick in the first half. Myers. He's tested his pace here against Mark Patterson, which is equal to. And that's a good cross, and Kevin Blackwell gets to it. Behind Kevin Blackwell there is the Chelsea fans, and a lot of them have made a holiday out of this, coming down to Devon to see games against Plymouth and Exeter. They got Swindon next, I understand. But a lot of loyal fans, they're not just from the area, they've come all the way down from London for tonight's game. And although I'm sure they'd like to have seen Viali, they're still having a good time. Paul Williams. Dispossessed. Frank Sinclair now. And his ball is wasted because Mick Heathcote, offside Neil Illman. That was close. A lot of people here tonight will of course be looking at these two sides and thinking they're worlds apart, but it wasn't that long ago that Plymouth and Chelsea were actually playing each other in the league. It was only in February 1989 when these two clubs met in the old second division. Now a break now. Myers crosses it in, it beats everyone, but young Nichols gets on the end of it, and Chelsea go 2-0 up, and perhaps that's the game won already. It was a great run there and a great break by Andy Myers. His ball drilled in, deceived everyone, apart from the enthusiastic Nichols, and Chelsea go 2 goals up. And it's 2-0 now, just like it was last season in that pre-season friendly when Chelsea also won by 2-0. And Argyle now have a mammoth task to try and retrieve something from this game. Here's Carlo Corazon, trying to fight back immediately. Wins a throw-in. Morget flicks it on. Corazon. Tightly marked there. Could do very little. It's a goal kick. As I was saying just before that goal, Argyle last met Chelsea in 1989. It was only 7 years ago. Gordon Jury scored the only goal of the game. In all, Argyle have met Chelsea 8 times in the league, all Division 2 encounters. Argyle have won once, Chelsea have won 4 of the games, and 3 games have ended up as a draw. Goal kick. Dennis Wise, always there or thereabouts, and he seems to have so much time on the ball. Here's Erlen Johnson. David Lee. Mark Hughes against Richard Logan. Logan fails to win control. Mark Hughes, are we going to see something spectacular from him? Instead he lays it off to Peacock. And he inadvertently shot there. And it was a good save there by Kevin Blackwell from Gavin Peacock, trying to get his second goal of the game. But Chelsea still break. What a good tackle there by Paul Williams. Still the danger's not over. Dennis Wise. Frank Sinclair. Wise again. Scott Minto wants the ball, he gets it. Well, the obvious ball was there to play it to Dennis Wise, but it didn't happen, and Argyle get a throw in. Here's Illman. Fails to spot the run by Patterson. Finds Curran instead, who enters the Chelsea half now. Patterson finally gets the ball. Plays it first time to Morget. And another run by Patterson goes unnoticed. Baird, wearing the number 9 shirt. Here's Neil Illman. That's a throw in now. Looks like Plymouth can get at least one goal to reward the fans who've made the trip here today. Patterson managed to get some sort of cross onto it. Should have been dealt with a bit easier than it was. Patterson, that's a good ball. And Illman, who looks a very instinctive player, shoots first time. Had a loan spell at Cambridge last season where he made his league debut. Yet to play in the league for Plymouth, but he's surely going to get his chance this season, especially with the enthusiasm and commitment he's showing. And he doesn't seem afraid to shoot. And a missed kick there. But Sinclair happy just to boot it into the Plymouth dugout. Here's Paul Williams. Illman seems to be everywhere. And does well. Carlo Corison now. Johnson clears it away, but it only goes to Paul Williams, but Paul Williams can't go to it. Playing Premiership opposition would be no stranger to Paul Williams. He played, of course, in the Premiership for Coventry City a couple of seasons ago. And Sinclair, the 1993 Chelsea Player of the Year, takes that throw in. He gets the ball again now. Trying to show the talents that obviously made him very popular with the Chelsea fans that year. Corison gets a free header. Logan turns, doesn't want to play it back to the keeper. He's under pressure now from Mark Hughes, but Logan does well. And then a good ball to Illman. But Illman loses possession. Commitment isn't everything. Peacock. That's a good ball. But credit where credit due to Mark Patterson. Showed a lot of strength there. Corison gets the flick on. Illman. Corison, oh, just missed it. Lots of commitment there from Paul Williams to win the ball back, but it only goes to Dennis Wise. But then Billy again. Desperate to get that ball. And so we've had about 20 minutes of the second half now. David Lee on the ball now. Will be familiar to Argyle fans. He had a loan spell here in the 1991-92 season. Scored a goal against Oxford. But it wasn't to be because Argyle were relegated. And from the old second division against Blackburn on the last day of the season, as many fans will remember. Big crowd that day as well. Just shows when Argyle play the big games, the fans will turn up, as they have done tonight. And if they play the likes of Chelsea every week, they'll get sellout crowds, and just shows the potential that is here. But anyway, that's going to be realised as Plymouth keep winning on the pitch. The cross is in, Logan sweeps it away. And a determined but fair challenge there by Johnson. And here's Frank Sinclair now. Minto. Mark Hughes turns, he shoots, but there's no power. He always scores a spectacular goal. If it's not spectacular, then it's not going to be Mark Hughes. Gavin Peacock now. He's finding it difficult to find a challenge. He's round Heathcote. He beats Kevin Blackwell. Gavin Peacock scores his second goal of the game. And Chelsea have almost certainly won this game. It's Plymouth Argyle 0, Chelsea 3. And Gavin Peacock, he looks cool, but I'm sure he'll be very pleased to get that second goal. And the game's over now, and Plymouth are just playing for pride. So Argyle now just would like to get a goal for the fans. The game really is irrelevant now. It's all over. And Chelsea have clearly come over the disappointment of that shock defeat at Exeter on Monday night. In convincing style. But Plymouth haven't been totally outplayed. And they're still creating problems now, which Hitchcock gets to that one. Sinclair. Mark Nichols stays onside. He drills it in. And a vital interception there by Richard Logan. If he didn't get to it, Mark Hughes would have. And it's now a corner. An array of bodies in the penalty area, as you can see. To take the corner will be Dennis Wise. Dennis Wise again. Minto. Peacock. Chelsea players now queuing up for the ball. Chris Curran though wins that ball. Plays it to the only Argyle player put forward, Neil Illman. Paul Williams. Morget's now made a run forward. There he is. But it's a disappointing ball. He's never going to get on the end of that. Corazon. Morget. And that's a bit more like it from Morget. David Lee. Erland Johnson, the signing from Bayern Munich in 1989, plays it forward to Gavin Peacock, looking for a hat-trick of course now. But Ian Baird, he's been around a bit, doesn't let the ball go easily. Andy Myers will take the throw in, plays it to Minto. It's going to be a corner. And Dennis Wise trots forward to take it. Dennis Wise, perhaps the best player on the pitch. He's an England international, of course. And he's going to remain the club captain despite all the arrivals of all those international stars. Curran wins the header, but it only goes as far as Peacock. Good ball to Lee. It's a dangerous cross. Heathcote gets to it again. Billy. Now here's a test for Illman. But it's going to be very hard to get past Steve Clarke. He's had a very, very good game, Steve Clarke. Chelsea's longest serving player. And he's showing how much he loves Chelsea with his performance tonight. May only be a friendly, but he's been absolutely superb in defence. And here he is again. It's a bit of a nice kick around now for Chelsea and just enjoy themselves. Chelsea, I understand, have a few more pre-season friendlies at the likes of Swindon and Wolves, but the biggest pre-season game will be the Umbro Cup on the 3rd and 4th of August at the City Ground, Nottingham, when they play Ajax, Man United and Nottingham Forest. Mark Patterson bursting forward. Oh, that's a determined challenge. Hitchcock and Patterson both injured. Mark Patterson, who burst forward, felt he had a chance to win that ball and went in fully committed. He's injured himself. It looks very serious as well, and Hitchcock's down as well. 2 players down, and let's hope they're all right. You can see behind you the stretchers are out. We hope that's not too serious. So while we wait, we just tell you that Chelsea, of course, have that Umbro Cup tournament to play in, and then their first league game in the Premiership's at Southampton. Argyle's pre-season next takes them to Taunton on the 26th of July. Then they've got that Devon Bowl against Exeter on the 5th of August and Torquay at Playmore on the 7th of August. Argyle seem to win that tournament whenever they play in it recently. There's another big pre-season friendly on the 10th of August when they play Manchester City. King Cludsey will be down here, hopefully. We hope he plays. And then the big kick-off is on the 17th, of course, against York City. That's when all this pre-season work finally comes to effect, and Argyle try to win promotion to Division 1. Both players still down. They're taking their time. Doesn't say who this goalie is on the So Mark Patterson's had to be stretchered off, which is very serious. We hope it's just a precaution. But it's not looking too good for Mark Patterson. He went down instantly. He looked in serious pain. And Chelsea have also now brought on their substitute goalkeeper for Kevin Hitchcock, whose injury is not so serious. He's able to walk to the touchline. Patterson suddenly being wheeled away. We just hope that he's fit for the new season. He's such a vital player. It would be a disaster if anything was to happen to him. And surely Argyle and Argyle to make a substitution. They've got a very inexperienced lineup on the bench. Here's Mick Heathcote. And the first touch for the new goalkeeper. He came on at Exeter and was obviously shaken to concede 2 goals. Peacock on the ball. It's Werner Johnson. For now, while Smart Patterson's off the field, Chris Billy's playing right back. He obviously prefers the wing, but he's played right back before, including that cup game against Coventry. Here's Mark Hughes. Still Mark Hughes. Hustled and bustled, but gets the ball to Dennis Wise. Minto. Dennis Wise, did he keep that in? The referee said yeah, but it goes to Kevin Blackwell. The substitution's going to be made. It's going to be young Paul Watson to come on. Came on as part of the YTS scheme. Has a limited number of first team appearances behind him. But Paul Watson was certainly one for the future. It's Corazon. Argyle trying to sort out that tactics at the moment. And now Watson's marking Mark Hughes. Complete contrast in experience there. Here's Andy Myers. David Lee. The game he feels fizzled out now since that injury. It's obviously had an effect on the players.
Hello, Mum.
Dennis Wise. Mark Hughes. Alan Johnson's made the forward run and he's in space now. Mark Hughes is trying to get in there, penalty area. And so is Andy Myers. Gets his head to it, but it's over. What a good break by Erland Johnson, and Andy Myers acknowledges Johnson. So Ruud Gullit will be pleased to get on the winning track again tonight. And Chelsea certainly have a manager with a great pedigree. 65 international caps and 16 goals. Corazon now. Well, that was a back pass, obviously, and the keeper has to deal with it effectively. Paul Williams to Neil Illman. Was that handball? No. Ball to hand, says the ref. And Argyle didn't even get a throw-in out of it. An aimless ball there. Paul Watson's going to chase it, but there's no need. Those Argyle fans who see in your picture will be not too despondent. It's been a good performance by Argyle. It's going to be another substitution. Neil Illman, who's worked for all he's worth tonight, has come off. And I think that's Craig Dan who's come on. But Neil Illman deserves praise. He hasn't scored tonight, but he's always tried his best with that sort of enthusiasm, he's won half the battle, surely. Anthony's now in space. Goes for the chip. Would have been a lovely goal if it had gone in. Mark Hughes shows his disappointment in the penalty area. I think he's more suited to a goal like that, isn't he? The game's coming to a close now. And it would be foolish to make judgments from tonight's game for Argyle. They're not going to be playing this standard of opposition every week, of course. They play York from the first game of the season. It's been invaluable over match fitness in terms of tactics, and it's been interesting to see how Argyle would fare against opposition of this quality. And they've maybe beaten, but they've not been humiliated tonight. And you also have to remember that Chelsea have still got 3 superb international players to come into the side. And the players like Argyle, they're surely going to improve on last season's position of 11th when they gained just 50 points. And with Hullet, of course, in the side as well, they've got makings of a great season ahead of them. It's certainly very exciting, and Chelsea are one of the most attractive sides in the Premiership now. Gavin Peacock wasn't offside, so Heathcote has to deal with it. Coruscant was offside. But the referee says play on. Good refereeing there. Peacock. Dennis Wise. Wise, he's found Peacock in space. Some nice skill there by Peacock. Oh dear, well, Marquis fell asleep. Paul Watson was awake and he won the ball. Here's Ian Baird now. Come on, Argyle, can we get a goal from you in these closing stages? They've earned themselves a throw-in. It's another throw-in. Remembering, of course, Argyle's 2 top goal scorers from last season, Michael Evans with 12 and Little John with 18. None of those are playing tonight, so we've still got them to come. Johnson, not sure of himself. There's going to be another substitution. A double substitution, in fact. Off comes Ian Baird and Paul Williams. And on comes Andrew Avery and Danny O'Hagan, the most promising player of the year, voted by the fans last season. Paul Williams deserves the standing ovation he's getting. And Ian Baird, he's worked hard, not been too effective, but the match will be invaluable just for fitness purposes. And 2 young strikers get the chance, especially for Danny O'Hagan. Chelsea break now, Gavin Peacock. He's got Mark Hughes and Anthony ahead of him. And making a great run there. It's Frank Sinclair onside. This is dangerous. Frank Sinclair, he drills it in. Nobody can get a hand onto the end of it. Mark Hughes dived in. But a good ball there by Frank Sinclair as well as a good break. And Mark Hughes inches away from adding his name to the score sheet. Mark Hughes always going to get you goals. Chelsea fans remember his most famous goal, of course, an FA Cup final goal against Chelsea in 1994 that won Man United the double. Chelsea have grown in stature, it's been noticed as the games progress. They've grown in confidence and shown their authority. But the first half performance from Plymouth was very encouraging, to say the least. And it might have been a different story had Illman scored when his shot hit the crossbar in the first half. Watson. No air ball. Perhaps this is going to be Kevin Blackwell's last touch of the game. The referee has looked at his watch, but for now allows play to continue. Back to the goalkeeper. Corazon and O'Hagan try to pressure him, but Steve Clark gets the ball. Gavin Peacock. This is good play by Plymouth. Can they get a finale goal? Here's Heathcote. He's round Minto. Heathcote. Oh dear. Heathcote obviously a better defender than he is a winger. Although saying that, Heathcote did get some good goals last season. And important goals. He got 4 league goals and 2 cup goals. Sign from Cambridge, perhaps one of Neil Warnock's finest signings so far. Gavin Peacock wants more of the glory. But a determined tackle there by Avery. Oh dear. Straight to Gavin Peacock, and here's Erland Johnson. Erland Johnson's cross again, poor. Although to be fair, Johnson's had a good game. He's looked very solid whenever he's been needed. When Chelsea were in Europe a few seasons ago, he was the only player to become an ever-present. So that shows his value to the team, if nothing else. Morshay's running forward, but David Lee gets on there first. Carlo Corazon. Is he going to shoot? He is. At least he made the effort. It went wide in the end, but at least he's got the confidence to try something so late in the game. And Carlo Corazon, who's only had 1 goal for Plymouth so far. That last-minute penalty against Mansfield Town that earned 3 vital points. And Corazon turns. A real chance now. The best chance of the game for Plymouth, and it's wasted. Corazon tried to be spectacular by lobbing it over the goalkeeper, but in the end he failed. That was a good chance for Plymouth and could have sent the fans at least home with a smile on their faces. I think Chelsea were confused by the fact that Plymouth players were running back in an offside position. The linesman rightly allowed play to continue. Here's Andy Myers. Oh, what a good tackle by Billy. Here's O'Hagan now. O'Hagan, another big year for him as well, because he's shown what he can do for the reserves, but he's got to make his breakthrough to the first team sooner rather than later. Although he is a youngster, and of course he has time on his side. Chelsea just playing out time now. Well played, Paul Watson. Deceived Mark Hughes. Here's Corazon now. Oh, O'Hagan now. Has he got an open goal? He tries to lob it. I think that was the hardest chance than it looked like. O'Hagan was suddenly surprised to get the ball, and it wasn't as if the keeper was miles off the line. He'd got back by the time the ball got back to him. O'Hagan did what he had to. He had to try and lob the keeper, But another chance goes a begging. Can Plymouth have one chance? Can someone steal the glory in the last seconds? David Lee, Steve Clark. And another strange ball. And what a strange ball there for the keeper as well. Corazon almost tried to find it out to Andrew Avery, but it didn't work. The referee blows up for full time. It's been an enjoyable night, if nothing else. A rare chance to see players of undoubted quality. There was no VAR yet. Chelsea still put on a show to be proud of. 2 goals from Gavin Peacock, 1 goal from Nichols. And of course the real test for Plymouth comes on August the 17th when they play York City in the opening fixture of the League Division 2. Chelsea then getting over the disappointment of that defeating against Exeter to comfortably beat Plymouth. And there's still a lot of work for Neil Warnock to do, although he'll be encouraged by the chance that Plymouth did create chances. They quite rightly get an ovation from the Argyle fans. It's been a memorable night for Plymouth Argyle, a big crowd, over 10,000 people here tonight. Final score, Plymouth Argyle 0, Chelsea 3.
This is the message for the